Hey everyone, Black here from CasaBLACK Gaming. Today I wanted to do something a little different. I wanted to be on camera because, for what I want to say, I may throw in some clips here and there, but ultimately this is just me wanting to explain how my channel's been going. If you've wondered why I may not be putting out as much lately, I wanted to kind of answer all that, talk about the future, talk about Star Citizen a little bit, and just, go over some things real briefly. So first off, as far as my channel goes, I'm sure many people have noticed that I've kind of gone down quite a bit in content. Now, the reason for that is, of course, because Star Citizen has slowed down. Star Citizen has been the main game that I've focused on the last 2 years. I've done a couple of other things here and there, but ultimately, Star Citizen is the main thing I make content for. And that's how it's been. And it's been cool. But at the same time, I've noticed that, when that's what you're known for, you're stuck. And so I don't like being kind of hostage to good times or the bad times of Star Citizen. I don't just play Star Citizen solely. I am a MMO and survival game player for the most part. So anytime something like that will catch my fancy, I will, of course, veer off course and go try those out and play them. At the same time, I've done so, and I've also kept up with Star Citizen content. But right now, there just hasn't been a lot of content, basically, since Invictus. I know the other content creators are feeling it, and I constantly think about other content creators. And you see them, like I saw Croncy whenever a couple weeks ago he was playing Baldur's Gate 3. And it was really cool that he was enjoying it so. And I asked him, I was like, hey, Croncy, how the numbers been, because he's like, I've streamed more than I've ever streamed and it's been a blast. But then he tells me the numbers have been pretty bad. And so I kind of feel bad, for content creators, especially who have that hard time of being able to do other things, but yet they're known for this one. We can't all be like some of the other content creators who can just, jump from game to game and everybody goes with them and they're all in this train together. So I feel like that as well. And so this isn't a full-time thing by no means. I have a normal day job. This is something I do, because I like to be creative. I like to express myself in other ways. I enjoy trying to get better at doing this. Ultimately, I think I have, my videos have definitely, I think, come a long way. Still have work to do, but ultimately, I do want to branch out a little bit. I have other things that I know are coming, and so I would like to be able to have more, that I'm known for than just Star Citizen. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm dropping Star Citizen or that things are really going to change as far as that goes. The only thing that's changing right now is I'm not just looking for any reason to create a video. I'm not just, scraping the bottom of the barrel, if you want to say. I'm not saying other content creators are doing that. There are some people who can just post, their gameplay. And some also stream. I happen to not stream because I feel like I can only do one thing really well instead of trying to split my time. I also don't like the fact that if I were to stream, some days I don't necessarily want to play Star Citizen or whatever else I could be known for. So and some days I don't even want to stream at the same time, so because I don't want to stick to a schedule, because I don't want to play the same thing all the time, I've chosen not to stream. And so I just put out the content that I want to put out. But, of course, that does limit my audience and things like that. Star Citizen lately, besides slowing down, has also had, a few little, I don't know what you want to call them, drama sessions or whatever. Me personally, I'm okay with like the Evo testing stuff that happened there with that hijinks. Even the rumors for the past week that we've been hearing about cuts at CIG, which looks like it was kind of overblown. I think a lot of rumors are ultimately overblown, especially when it's slow like this. People are looking to cling to anything. But, ultimately, I don't do content based on that anyway, so it's not really a big thing for me. And I'm also I'm a nonchalant player when it comes to things, and probably a nonchalant content creator for Star Citizen, because you're not going to see me really get like all active and crazy about something. Now, there are a couple things that have kind of like rubbed me the wrong way, over the couple of years that I've been covering this, ultimately I try to step back and not throw out a video as soon as possible, because I believe that usually you'll come back to something better on it later, and you don't necessarily want to be known for that first reaction. But I mean, I'm like many of you, when I see things that I think are kind of like BS, I like to call it out. But anyway, so this has nothing to do with the game itself, the state it's in, other than the fact that things are slow. There's not a lot to cover. That's why I kind of came out with these new 5-minute no BS ship reviews. It's a way for me to keep throwing out content at least weekly and offer something that I think new players are going to be looking for. There are quite a few ship reviews out there and people that do great ones, but I haven't really seen a lot of like really quick 5-minute no BS type thing. So I thought there was a place for that. I'm especially trying to cover all the starter ships and things. So you can definitely look for those to continue. I will continue to do the roadmap reviews as well. That's been slow as well lately, but I do plan on continuing to follow the roadmap. I think it's probably going to slow down in terms of Star Citizen long term, because we do have some kind of rumors going around that things are going to slow down. Like Pyro is going to be like the next big thing, which we know, but after that, nothing until Squadron 42. Now, I don't think it'll be nothing. I do think that what we're going to see is definitely a slowdown, and you can kind of look at the roadmap and you can see this. On the roadmap, we have some things like cargo elevators. We've got the vehicle munching. We have a Bounty Hunter version 2. We've got, engineering. Those are some big ticket items. Those are also items that can possibly be done shortly before or with 4.0, or maybe even an update after 4.0. Other than those in 4.0 and Pyro, there's nothing new that's really been started. Usually we've got, some hints. We've got things that we know are going to take a year or two, like whenever they started on the on some simulation stuff for Tony Z. We knew that. I mean, they started that in like end of 2019, I believe. And yeah, you knew that was going to take. But we don't have things like that on the roadmap now that look like they're going to take years. You're like, there's nothing on the roadmap now for that, because they know that they're not really starting anything big until after Squadron. So I think what we're going to see is looks like very good chance that not Squadron, but Pyro is going to be released test server into this year, probably Evocati. Maybe we'll see it like in March, and unless things are just really bad, between January and March, we'll see it come out. People are going to have it. I believe CIG's thinking on this is that, well, you had Stanton for 3, 4, 5 years. I don't know. Maybe Pyro can get you through for a year or two while they finish up Squadron 42, which, by the way, I believe Squadron 42 is going to come out late summer, fall 2024. I'll be surprised if it's before summer, but I think that's kind of likely. Maybe even pushing it like a November, December. And I don't think we're going to see too much content. Maybe some missions. Missions are kind of easy, of course. Probably some ships, especially around Invictus and things like that. But ultimately, and if we do see some ships that we don't know about, there'll probably be more of the how we've been doing variants. That's a good possibility. But ultimately, I don't think we're going to see a big ship next year. Could be the Polaris. That far ahead, I don't know. You should know more as this year ends to see what's coming. Start seeing more fully modeled, tours of the Polaris, and I think we could get by Invictus, but who knows? Maybe not. But ultimately, guys, that's kind of where I'm at with Star Citizen. Now, as far as my channel and else going after that, I'm thinking October's gonna be pretty busy for me. We do have Return to Moria, which is coming out, which is a survival game I'm looking forward to. And there's a couple of others that are coming out as well, or not coming out, but we should see some testing possibly. I may or may not have already tested something already, and may or may not have started working 40 hours of footage to make guides for, which I can't release until it is dropped or out. So that may or may not be something you're interested in. But that's the kind of stuff that I'm going to be working on while Star Citizen's kind of like back burner, but still putting out something weekly. I still want to put something out weekly. Again, roadmap's still a thing. But ultimately, you know, that's kind of where I'm headed. I want to have some kind of alternate thing, something that I'm actually interested in doing along with Star Citizen. That way there, when Star Citizen has its lulls, I can still put out things, still be trying to attract other people to my brand of guides and, you know, some of that. But anyway, that's kind of like where the channel's at. I apologize if you're expecting nothing but Star Citizen content from me, but, you know, I do have some goals that I want to do with the channel. I was hoping for 10,000 by the end of this year, but things have slowed down so much over the last couple of months, and then my channel being hacked earlier this year kind of slowed things down. I don't think I'm going to hit 10,000 by the end of this year, but you know, it's getting close. But anyway, I appreciate everyone who, you know, joins in the conversation with my comments. The people that have joined the Discord, you know, we have good conversations that are daily. And yeah, I appreciate all the support everyone's given me, you know, all the follows on Twitter, and for you guys basically putting up with any of my foolishness that I post there. Yeah, just looking forward to the rest of this year. I got a few busy months coming up, and yeah, we got some good stuff coming with Star Citizen 2, guys. So I'm really looking forward to following Pyro. I will be doing all this stuff day one. Like, I will be putting out ship reviews for the C1, the A1, the Storm that's coming. You know, I will be putting out reviews, loadouts, and all that, so you can definitely look forward to that. None of that's changing. But yeah, anyway, keep everything positive, guys, and we'll see you in the verse. Take care.